Hey there, Tuba Knights, it's your friendly neighborhood Flash in the Pan with a 4th of July / Independence Day edition of why you need to own a black powder firearm. This was something that kind of popped into my head a while back. It was after I bought this, but it was kind of one of those things like, well, I don't know, I don't want to get in trouble, certain things, allegedly. All allegedly in this video, just for conversation's sake, just two friends having a conversation. Remember that. What you choose to do with this conversation is up to you. Be smart, make good choices, and be safe. All that being said, one of the things I considered now, I have a friend who he had made a little, I think it was a golf ball cannon. So, you know, whatever size of golf ball, maybe an inch and a quarter. I was out at their property the one time and I got to see them shoot that little cannon. It was a lot of fun. It was cool. The thing that I remember was, because we just shot blanks, because like they either didn't want to shoot golf balls at the time or didn't have any or whatever. So we just made a blank. I can't remember exactly what he used to make the blank, but the thing that stands out in my memory is he used a hot dog bun as kind of the load. You know, black powder obviously is down at the bottom, etc., etc. There may have been some cardboard wadding in between the powder and the hot dog bun. Memory fails me. Long story short, Independence Day was Friday. I'm shooting this on Sunday, and of course this won't post until whenever, much later, unfortunately. But so I was like, man, I've got this beauty just sitting there in the safe, waiting to be released upon the earth. And here we are on Independence Day in America, and it just felt right, allegedly. So I brought out old Sweet Bessie here and her spare cylinders, and I started out, allegedly, with 15 grains of black powder in each cylinder, and then I went bread directly on top of that. Hindsight being what it is, voice of experience, and all you black powder guys, please chime in, tell me what an idiot I am, because I realized the error of my ways at this point. Now it all worked out fine in the end. It was safe, all the things. I had a bit of a chore cleaning up afterwards, but that's fine. That's half the fun. So I started out with 15 grains. Now I have, I should have brought it out with me. I just have, you know, kind of the standard little powder measure that you can rotate the thing out, you pour it in, and then you rotate it back in. It's got the funnel on top that rotates, and you pour it into the cylinders. It's like 14, 15 bucks. Nothing, no big deal. I half-assed measured that on the little, you know, it went from 10 to 20. So I put about halfway through that. I called it at 15. So I did the first 3 cylinders using that load, allegedly. Then I had some bread. There was just, you know, whatever. I have a family, as you know. There was bread laying around the house. I grabbed whatever, and I just wadded it in at the end of the cylinders as much as I can wedge in there, and then I stamped it down. Now, looking back at it now, I can see that was kind of silly, because bread, even though it is dry, it still has some moisture to it. And of course, even though I'm a YouTuber, did I reference YouTube before I attempted to make any kind of blanks with black powder? No. Why would you do that? That's silly. So, so there I am, 4th of July night. You know, you kind of wait until it gets dark, as God intended, and then you do fireworks stuff, among other things, allegedly. And so, put all that in there. I got my, I had Remington number 11 caps. Now I will say this, while I made them work, I think the number 11 are a little big. Number 11 Remington. Number 11 Remington, that's all I've tried so far. So I'm sure, again, black powder guys, let me know. I don't know squat. Chime in, please. they worked, but they did not stay on the nipples to save their... I could probably go out in the grass right now, allegedly, and find 10-ish caps that fell off. Just not even, they just fell off. So what I started doing is I gave them a little crimp, the old finger crimp, dialed in just so, and then I put them on the nipples, and that seemed to square that problem away pretty good. As you'll see in the videos, you'll see, like, you know, it starts out kind of 50-50 whether they're going to go off or not, and it got better over time. You know, you live and you learn. I have since watched videos on people that make black powder blanks, and there's two schools of thought that I found quickly. I didn't go down the rabbit hole per se, but it was just something I did a quick look out on the YouTubes for. So there is the oatmeal blank, which to me makes sense because oatmeal is dry and it is compressible. My concern with oatmeal would be, actually it's concern for both of these, but oatmeal just as much, is it would eventually, and of course it's only 6 shots, but through the recoil, not really, it would kind of loosen and create a problem. It can't be any worse than the bread I was using with mixed results. The other one is kind of, oh, what's that stuff called? It's the, you get it at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's. It's that green foam, what do they call it? It's like you know, they use it for fake green. It's a foam, but it's green. I can't. My brain's farting. I'll put it in here somewhere because magic. But anyway, so that's also very compressible, and you can through various ways. The one channel, and again, here I am again talking to a camera before I wrote anything down and remember anything. Old West Guns, or he has a whole kit designed just for making blanks, and it's actually pretty genius. I haven't even looked up the price. I should do so because I was like, that's brilliant. And it talks about the little, he's got the funnel that is used to pour your powder in is also used to cut out the exact right diameter of this foam to then press into the cylinders as your blank. It's a cool little system. I will annotate it here because it's worth seeing, and probably can't include the price because YouTube sucks, but I will put the website in there as well just so you can take a look because it sounded kind of cool. The other one there was 3 channels I watched that did this. The third one that I watched, he was doing cartridge blanks, so he was just using the cartridge itself to insert into the foam, so that doesn't really relate to doing it in this particular capacity. There are 2 sources that you need to reference, well, maybe 3 just for giggles, but 2 that I use primarily in this video after the fact. The one all of you should know, if you clicked on this video, you should know Duelist 1954. You should follow his channel. He's been injured more recently, so he hasn't been able to put out quite the same level of video as he has in the past, but if you go back through his backlog, he has a pretty good teardown, or how to disassemble and clean a Remington 1858, which came in key because, again, for somebody that's never shot, this isn't like your smokeless revolver that you just kind of get to, you know, clean willy-nilly, no big deal. It gets everywhere. Look at me. It's like going to the beach. The sand gets everywhere. The black powder gets everywhere. You got to take all this apart. You got to take everything down, all of it. So his channel is an excellent resource for that. I don't remember in his particular video if he discussed the actual cleaning or if it was just disassembly, but there's another channel who I would recommend, and it is Recoil Therapy, and it was one of his more recent, Johnny? Oh, what's his name? I think it's Johnny. I think he goes by Johnny, but anyways, Recoil Therapy. Does a lot of black powder cartridges, but he did a recent video, kind of Black Powder for Dummies series that he's been working on, where he talked about cleaning, and he said water. Water is the simplest cleaning agent for black powder. And I was like, that sounds crazy, but here I was yesterday. I got all my cylinders tore down. I hosed everything down with Ballistol. Speaking of Ballistol, I was a CLP guy. So back in the Navy days, that's what we used. It was CLP. That was kind of the military standard to my knowledge, or at least the Navy standard when I was in. So that's what I bought for years and years. And then, of course, like every one of us, hopefully, I started watching Hickok 45, and he talked about this Ballistol. Never heard of it, never seen it. It was not available in my area. Shields came to North Texas in the last couple years, and they had Ballistol. So I had bought a can a while back, and just so happens I ran out of CLP, my last can of CLP, and so I had a Ballistol can laying around. I'm going to tell you right now, that stuff smells outstanding. I don't mind cleaning solution, gun stuff. Like it's more like, you know, that's the smell. You relate it to your hobby, to the thing that you enjoy. But Ballistol goes one next level up. It's almost like a minty smell. I can't describe it. If you've sprayed Ballistol, you know what I'm talking about. But long story short, I hosed everything down. I was a firefighter, just putting out the black powder fire on every bit of metal I could get a hold of to try and reduce the fouling. And I let it soak overnight, and I got out there the next day, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter how much I soaked it. It was a mess. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I used bread instead of something that was a lot more dry. I think the bread just kind of, and that was something that I found success in the latter part of this video that you'll see, is how more success I had in shooting. Is I was cleaning a lot of the excess stuff through the barrel, through the chambers. I was trying to get as much of that out of the way as possible, because it really kind of latched on, especially after it had been fired. It really just kind of caked onto everything. So I realized that most of that was my selection of blank media, allegedly. And we'll try something in the future. Something different in the future. Good Lord. Try the oatmeal, or we'll try the green foam. So water though, so I got a bottle of water, and I was just using regular paper towels, which I keep, can you see that? There you go. I keep a roll literally right here on my little workstation in the garage, and I just soaked it in water, and I just passed it in through the cylinders, and I literally just used my hand and just kind of twisted it, especially in the cylinders, twisted it in each one. It was usually maybe 1.5 little squares of paper towel per individual cylinder on each cylinder set. And I mean, it was magical. It was magical how quickly that came out. The barrel, my God, look, you know me, I love my long barrels, but I had to use probably, I don't know, 10 paper towels just to push the gunk through this monstrosity. So maybe if you're gonna do this, choose one of the shorter barrels. But if you already have your Buffalo, then you rock on. It's fun. Look, all of this to say, this sounds like a huge complaint video, and it's not, because this is something I've wanted to do, allegedly, for a long time. And to have the ability to shoot some black powder blanks on Independence Day is the most fun, not the most fun, but it's a lot of fun you can have with your clothes still on. It's silly, it's fun, you're not harming anyone. At one point you'll hear a neighbor walk by, and she was asking, you know, okay, and I was shooting vertical, doesn't matter. I did try a few, as you'll see, shooting directly at the camera, not directly at the camera, but I was shooting overhead or to the side or whatever, and it's like, it's not even a big deal. It was a lot of fun. It's kind of one of those things that now that I've done it, I want more. I would make the strong argument that if you are a person of means, or it's just something that you feel strongly enough about, it's worth buying something like this, you know, it doesn't have to be this because this is a bit much, but something like that, just for the giggles of 4th of July, if you live in a free state, allegedly. It was a blast. I recommend it, and I will probably do the same thing again with with a little more planned out logic and results next year, allegedly. This was actually pretty fun to take apart. They're relatively simple machines from back in the day, and I think even Mike over at Duelist 1954 talks about that, how, you know, really compared to modern equipment, these are pretty simple. And I only made one mistake putting it back together, and I was able to diagnose that pretty quick without even referencing the video. So they're a lot of fun. I recommend it. I have various videos attached here. I kind of piece it together, trying to just move it along, because there's a lot of me setting this is my phone mostly, but you also have my my camera, my outdoor camera, catching some of it. So I'm trying to chop some of that together and make it look okay. And it doesn't really, especially the security camera doesn't. The audio is not great, but these are blank, so it's not like you're getting full load, you know, big old bang, whatever. But I try to piece it all together, and you'll see some of the clicks and some of the, you know, caps falling out. I figured out by the end how to, you know, give them a little squeeze, and how to properly dial in the bread at that time. I saw a lot of the other guys were talking about 25 grains, I think, was their blank load, and I was below that, and so maybe that would have been a little more fun as well. But I would highly recommend, allegedly, as long as you're safe. It's just like anything else. You can hurt yourself, you can hurt others. This is, even though it's a blank, ask Alec Baldwin how that works out for some people. Don't point it at anybody. Just be smart. Don't be stupid about it. You know, 4th of July is an outstanding holiday. It's the best holiday on the planet, period. Fight me. But be smart. Let's come home with all 10 fingers. And man, just do it. I may, before next 4th of July, there may be another one of these, maybe not the 12-inch, but there may be another version of this sitting on this table to have a discussion about doing this very thing, because it was a lot of fun. It was just silly, good-natured fun, and that's what Independence Day is all about. I really appreciate you guys watching. Stick around for the actual shooting now that I've talked for an hour and a half. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, yeah, I'm going to shoot something. I'm going straight up there. You're good. Yeah, shoot some. I'm going straight up there. You're good.